Welcome to the Pulse with Peter Bianca. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we're here at the beautiful Il Tavolo Di Palmisano, located at 700 Clinton Street in the beautiful city of Hoboken, New Jersey. And the person to my right was here last week, and she's just dying to come back. She was begging me through text. She's like, that food was awesome last week, so I need to come back this week. And I'm out of breath. It is Megan Ixim, our Places Insider of at Miss Giggles. Megan, great to have you back, second week in a row.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be back. I'm so excited to eat some delicious food and hang out with you, Peter.
And I didn't make any of that up, correct?
No, you did not.
Zero. Good. And for the folks at home, again, I know you're wondering where Desiree Perez is. I swear she will be back in a future segment, and Peter will be out of the host chair because who wants to see me, right, Megan?
Ooh, I mean, are you nervous about that?
Very much so.
Me and Desiree, you know.
I don't know. It kind of sounds, it kind of just rolls off the tongue,
Dream
right?
come true.
Exactly.
We'll stick with you for a little bit. That's okay.
Makes my heart melt. Speaking of melting, what are some of the dishes? This is making my
Oh
mouth
my
melt.
goodness.
What
So
do we have?
we are here in Hoboken trying some of the delicious meals at
Il Tavolo Di Palmisano.
I just love hearing him say that. And so our first dish
Yes.
is one of my favorites, just a comfort food. And I feel like it's something that you do see on menus often, but there's so many different variations that really keep it nice and exciting. So this is a fried burrata, but with a spicy pepper sauce. And then you have a classic tomato sauce, kind of like a grandma sauce underneath. So let's take...
Now, and while you
bite out
dig
of
in,
that. Yes.
last week we had that watermelon salad, if you remember.
Yes, we did.
With the shaved burrata. Remember that?
Yes.
I don't know why I'm doing it like I'm shaving.
Ooh, you're
cheese.
you're
Apparently I'm
reenacting
grating
it.
cheese, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, look at that cut, by the way.
Yes.
Didn't that just cut so beautifully?
It cuts so beautifully. You take a little dip. You want to get your burrata, you know. You always want the sauce. Or do you say gravy or you say sauce?
I say sauce.
Okay, all right.
Gravy's
all right.
the brown gravy you put on your turkey on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Boom.
Okay, we might have some comments about that one, but you heard it here first.
I know.
All right.
I know.
So this looks really yummy. I cut a little big of a bite, but we'll see. We'll see how we go.
Exactly. I mean, and by the way, these dishes here are just so unique, in my opinion, that, I mean, I've been to plenty of Italian restaurants, none as good as Il Tavolo di Palmisano here, and it's because of the uniqueness of these plates.
Yeah, I feel like that pepper gives it that little extra oomph, but I mean, how can you go wrong with fried cheese?
But it's like, why do you think mozzarella sticks are so popular?
Oh my God.
This is like the...
This is an
this is
elevated.
an elevated version of
Elevated
it.
mozzarella stick for sure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. So last week you rated everything between 9 and a perfect score. What do you rate this today?
I'm gonna give it an 8.9.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
again, this was my fault. I ordered it too early. It was sitting here for a while, so I'm sure if it was hotter, it would have been
I think
in the nines.
A little bit of heat. Yeah, if it got that little bit of heat fresh out of the oven, let's say even a 9.7.
Ooh, all right. All right. And by the way, this is not Dave Portnoy, who once he says a score, he can't change it. We just change all scores here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Don't worry, we can change it right now. 9.3.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right. What do we got next here, Megan?
Okay, so we have a salmon piccata, which is an egg battered salmon, which is something I've never actually seen. It's a really interesting dish. So it has that like really wonderful lemon sauce, the traditional Italian capers, and it's on a creamy risotto.
Oh. Now, risotto is good enough. Now you're telling me it's a creamy
It is
risotto.
a creamy risotto.
And you said it was a lemon sauce,
Yes,
correct?
it's a lemon sauce, and I think you can only see a little bit of like these crispy garlic, which is like
love
one
those
of
stuff.
my
When
favorite
What
things.
do you do? I guess you fry the garlic, right?
Yeah. You cut it thin,
And then you just
then
fry
you just fry it by itself, and it creates this like nice, little euphoric, and it gets a little
Just
crispy.
give me like a cup of that.
Oh my
right?
God! Soon you're gonna regret being so close to me.
I
It's
mean,
worth it. It's worth it.
Totally worth it.
Okay.
Totally.
All right, let's take a bite.
And she might be shocked here. I'm actually unrolling.
Who is this, Peter?
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
saw the garlic, and I'm digging.
All right, we're
in.
getting
I
jealous.
don't even have a plate over here. Hold on a second.
All right, that's how we do it at the
Oh my
Pulse.
God.
I know. I have to get the risotto. I
That
mean,
is phenomenal.
do you love it?
I love
Okay.
it.
All right.
I love the lemon sauce.
Mm.
Oh, I know what the crew is taking home.
Oh
Just not our
my.
videographer Brady. He's not allowed.
That is the best bite. And honestly, I was a little nervous about having a egg battered salmon, to be perfectly honest, because I usually get my salmon grilled. That is phenomenal.
Okay.
That is a great
Hey, look,
flavor.
you're making me dig in. Here we go.
Yes, and the risotto cooked perfectly. Absolutely cooked perfectly.
It's almost like a salmon franchise in a way, right?
Exactly.
All right.
It has a more fun name, but that's exactly what I was
Exactly.
thinking when it
Score
came
on
out.
this one.
I'm thinking a 9.7.
Ooh,
I know.
love
I
it.
know. I think
Absolutely.
that is unbelievable, and it's something different that I haven't really seen on the menus here at Italian spots in Hoboken.
I mean, like, even our furry friends here are loving everything.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
do you want to
it's-
bite?
Exactly.
Well, if they didn't notice, the steak is closest.
That's what he was
you
probably
know.
So I'm gonna switch it up because
Yes.
we have a big mamma jamma. Did you think I was gonna use that word tonight?
Mamma jamma, everyone.
Mamma jamma. That's
Mamma
right.
jamma.
What do we have here?
Okay, so this is the Steak Anthony, which is a 14-ounce ribeye sous vide, and it has this really fun garlic sauce. I mean, it looks like it was with a little bit of garlic, and it has umami as well, which I feel like we're getting a little fancy here.
Wow.
You know, we're really
That is
elevating
amazing.
these
Sorry, I was just
steaks.
saying a little something fancy. Anyway.
Friends, family,
they're all
fans.
here,
Peter
you know what
knows
I'm saying?
everyone.
So now, this is what I love. I'm going to make you cut
I'm gonna-
that. Yeah.
All right, let's move this over.
Now,
Yeah, we gotta get
our
serious.
resident political analyst, Josh Sotomayor, Einstein,
Yes.
who's doing a segment next, but nobody really cares about him.
Right,
was
right.
exactly. Already was taking like shots at us, like, only have a little piece of that because I want to take it home.
Yeah.
Thinking, you do what you want.
I
Forget
do
about
what
him.
I want. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yes, you know.
He's got no talent.
He's got no talent.
Zero talent.
Oh my goodness. I mean, my talent is very specific.
Exactly.
But in
what-
this case,
This is what I love about Il Tavolo Di Palmisano, by the way. Their menu is so vast where you can get so many different dishes here for the meat lover in your life, the pescatarian in your pescatarian. Did I say that correctly? I believe I
yes,
did.
pescatarian.
Maybe the vegetarian in your life or something
Yes.
like that. Wow.
No, absolutely.
I'm on the money today.
you
let
were
me tell
on it.
ya.
Are you the next food?
Nope. I'm just in a good mood tonight.
I was like,
That's
are you
all.
trying to replace me? Excuse me.
Definitely not. This is all you. Do your
Uh-huh,
thing.
uh-huh.
I'll stay quiet
so
while you try the
this
steak.
steak Anthony looks absolutely gorgeous, and I mean the sear around it looks delicious. So I'm excited to take a bite, and we're gonna dig in. All
Dig
right?
in. Dig in.
Woo.
Because I might go for a little more salmon with the risotto over here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Take care. Oh, man, we're just talking. Just fans are out today.
Oh my. It has this the sauce is everything. Because I feel like when you order a steak sometimes it's very classic, it's very basic,
Could be
it's all
dry.
about it could be dry. And this is cooked about medium, it's a thinner ribeye, I think, and the sauce is incredible.
Oh.
The umami sauce with the garlic,
And it's so nice and
it is
flat, I
so
feel.
nice and thin,
Right.
and it's juicy, and I think it's cooked perfectly.
Give me a score.
Oh my God, I don't know, because that one was so
Well, this-
great. So
well,
we're
this
gonna go a 9.3.
All right.
Yes, but that is tasty.
Those are unbelievable scores.
Yes, I am quite happy with my experience here, and I think a date night is ordered
Oh,
soon. I think
Todd.
you'll see me next week.
I was going to say, Todd, that's exactly what we'd like to hear. Well, Megan Ixim,
Yes.
who's our Places Insider from @Miss Giggles. You're going to want to follow her over there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
We
for
really
having me.
appreciate you. And promise you're going to be back on real soon?
I hope so. You tell me.
All right, I love it. Thanks again, Megan. All right, folks, we will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B. and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com.
Welcome back. I'm your host with the most, Josh Sotomayor Einstein. I'm so glad to be joined today, not by that bum Biancamano, but by the wonderful, the magnificent Reverend Anthony Forbes. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, my friend? Always a pleasure, Josh. Always a pleasure.
So glad and honored that you could join us today.
Absolutely.
I'm always a man that is very curious about things, about how people associate and how they get where they are,
Yes.
especially when it comes to members of the cloth.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you became, Reverend Forbes, and what brought you to where you are in life right now.
Well, I'm a born and raised kid here in Hoboken. Grew up in the Hoboken projects. I'm also on the board of commissioners of the Hoboken Housing Authority. So, through life trials and tribulations, one thing led to another. I found myself seeking more fulfillment, career, or more fulfillment life, and it turned out to be that I ended up going into seminary school.
Oh, wow.
So once I ended up in seminary school, I became ordained, and that's how I became a minister.
What sort of seminary was it? Was it what particular branch? Or was it non-denominational?
Yeah, non-denominational, Nyack Theology Seminary in Manhattan was the school that I attended. And great school, but it's non-denominational. It's no affiliation to any particular religion.
Oh, that's very cool. I still am friends with a pastor that used to live in town, and he was from the Missouri Synod of the Lutherans. So I learned a lot about the Lutherans.
Yes.
Not so much about the non-denominational, but I imagine different flavors of Christianity can't be so different from one another.
I mean, depending on what region you grew up in. So if I grew up in India, then Krishna was my guy. If I grew up in the Christian world, then Jesus is my guy. If I grew up in the Buddhist world, then Buddhist is my guy. But there's one God, but there's many paths to get to that one God.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people know you from your involvement in the community, and I know that we actually, maybe we bumped into each other beforehand, but we really met at the wonderful annual 80s party that everyone should totally go to every year.
Yes.
From the Hoboken Homeless Shelter. So, can you tell us about your involvement there?
Well, I'm the operation and program manager at the Hoboken Shelter. Hoboken Shelter's been around 40 years. We actually started when the fires were being burnt here in town. So at one point, this late 70s, early 80s, they were burning us out because they wanted to regentrify the community. And because of that, the Hoboken Shelter was formed around all the clergy members that were in town at that moment. So it started out as a house of refuge for folks who were burnt out. And then we just snowballed into 40 years later, serving 500 meals a day, 1,000 showers a week. We sleep 50 nightly. Last year we housed 237 people. Went from the street to the shelter to their own home.
Oh wow, that is a really good story.
Yeah.
People need to hear more about rehousing people and that from street to success pipeline.
Absolutely.
Because people always hear about the street to the prison pipeline, but they never hear about the positive stories out there and the examples. And it's so important. Everybody out there that watches that watches our show. I don't know why I call this The View.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that about?
It's the Post.
The Pulse.
They viewing the Post.
I had a couple of drinks beforehand, all right, folks. But everyone out there viewing on TV land and on the internet, that's what I was saying to say when I said The View. They know that I'm a little bit rough around the edges when it comes to keeping Washington Street and our streets clean, but it doesn't mean that we don't need to have avenues to outreach to people and bring them in from the street. Everybody's life has ups and downs, has hills and valleys.
Absolutely.
And some valleys are deeper and some hills are higher, and that's okay. It matters that we, have some compassion and bring people in. And I just want everyone there to know that. And I hope you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Hudson River Care and Counseling. Hello, I'm Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis, the CEO and founder of Hudson River Care and Counseling with over 30 years of clinical social work experience and therapy. We are a progressive counseling and coaching practice with a diverse team that brings a holistic approach to clients. We offer support both in person and through digital platforms such as telehealth. Consider us a safe haven that you can trust with care for your mental health needs. Visit our website to set up a consultation today.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Josh Sotomayor Einstein. I'm so glad you stuck with us, and I'm so glad that this very patient man to my right, Reverend Anthony Forbes, also decided to be patient and stay here with us, talking to me. I'm again very, very honored.
You're a great guy. Stop it, Josh.
You clearly are a bad judge of character, and I appreciate that about you. So let's dive back in. Not only are you involved, in the homeless shelter, but there's also a ministry, I believe it's called Street Life Ministry.
Yes.
That you've pioneered.
Yes, absolutely. I'm the founder, executive director, and the pastor of Street Life Ministry, which is a homeless outreach ministry that deals with the street dwelling homeless. What we do is we bring the resources to the street dwellers. There's a couple different communities. There's the community of street dwellers that look to get help. They go to agencies. And then the second group is a group that gave up on themselves. So Street Life was birthed out of that necessity to bring the resources to them. And it started during the pandemic when every place was closed. Now our guests had nowhere to go. So I started doing outreach. And then when I found out the need for the outreach was humongous outside of our current community that we serve, in the mountains, under the bridge, on the sidewalks, things of that nature. So that's what Street Life was formed out of, birthed out of. We are a mobile outreach ministry that deals with the street dwelling homeless.
So when you talk about outreach to the street dwelling homeless, what does that outreach look like?
Well, let's say we come across a encampment. So what we do is, in the street engagement, we want to introduce ourselves to you, see what your needs are, food, clothing wise, then we'll take it from there, and then that's when we start to build the relationship. Nothing happens on the first couple of meetings because I need you to have to trust me. And that community is so vulnerable, they really don't trust a lot of people. So it's consistency is the key. So they consistently see me out, see me and the team out. Then once that happens, then we'll open up to the social worker, case managers, then we can get engagement with you and start getting the documents you need to get off the street.
Okay, it reminds me, my first 4 years in town, I've been here since January of '07.
Oh, 07? Okay, you're almost a regular.
Oh, well, tell Peter that. He says I'm from New York just because I was born in Manhattan and lived in the Bronx for my first 2 years.
You're here since '07. You're all right.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Thank you very much.
We might have to grandfather him in, Peter.
Anyway, you know what? His parents are good people and his brother is, but But anyway, my first 4 years, I had a friend, and he lived on the street, and he was a commuter. He'd come here to Panhandle.
Okay.
But and we would just talk. He never asked me for money, and he would ask other people for money. But when he saw that I was like down in when my first girl, my second serious relationship, when she dumped my, he was there for me. He saw it on my face. When I quit my first job, he saw it on my face.
Okay.
And he took time from his prime, money making hours and would walk around with me and just talk about things. And so, people have this characterization of all homeless as, having mental health issues, which I know a lot of them do, but not all of them, what I'm trying to say is many of them are just like you and me.
No, all of them are just like you and I. No one grows up, at the Hoboken Shelter, I speak with different kids, different classes around the town. And one of the questions that I ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? Nobody raises their hand and say, I want to be homeless. So homelessness is it's not a condition, it's a situation. And if we can address the situation, then we can handle the condition.
I know, I totally hear what you're saying. And I love the knowledge that you've been dropping on us here at the Pulse. And I think it's very, very, very good for our viewers out there in TV land. And I hope, that you'd be willing to come on again in the future.
Yo, absolutely. But we are having a barbecue fundraiser July 15th at Holy Innocents, which is on 6th and Willow. So if you want to get tickets, all proceeds go towards our operation. And it's a cigar barbecue, so it's going to be a great event.
Well, that sounds terrific. I'm definitely going to come. Reverend, thank you so much.
Josh, pleasure, my friend.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. here at Hudson Regional Hospital, located at 55 Meadowlands Parkway. And we're here for another groundbreaking event with a person very familiar to the show. And of course, that is the president and CEO here at Hudson Regional Hospital, our good friend, Dr. Kifaieh. Welcome back to the program.
Nice to see you again, Peter. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for having us here today. So today we're opening up what is known as a new Cath Lab. So this is going hand in hand with what Hudson Regional Hospital is known for, which is being the Institute for Robotic Surgery. Why is that, and what type of procedures can you do in this new lab?
Sure. So I'm glad to talk about this because I think this is a very important topic, and what we're doing here at Hudson Regional Hospital now is extremely important for the residents of Secaucus as well as Hudson County. I mean, as you know, Peter, we've talked in the past about some of the advances that we brought here to Secaucus at Hudson Regional Hospital in the form of advanced technology related to spine surgery, bariatric surgery, as well as orthopedic surgery and other aspects of medicine and surgery. Now we're talking about a program that's really going to help people maintain their cardiac health. You know, what I mean by that is there are a lot of patients that suffer from cardiac events that may require acute intervention. And in Secaucus, there is no hospital or facility that has that capability. So residents of Secaucus, if they have an unfortunate event where they have chest pain that requires further intervention via cardiac catheterization, they have to be transported outside of the town for care. Now that capability exists here in Secaucus. Over 20 years ago, the old Meadowlands Hospital used to have a cardiac cath lab here at the old Meadowlands Hospital, but it was taken away from it and moved to another facility. So we're really happy that we're able to bring that capability back into the town. The residents of Secaucus and Hudson County deserve the best, and I think that's what we're doing for them now.
And it really is the best. It really is an unbelievable facility. So this is for any person who's looking for minimally invasive surgery regarding their heart, correct? In this?
No, actually, so what this is it's done in stages, and the first stage for us is really when a patient comes in and they have chest pain or they have any sort of reasons for why you need to investigate what's happening with the vessels around the heart that supply blood to the heart and oxygen to the heart. This gives us the capability to take a look at that and see if they have what you may know as like a blood clot or a closure or something like that in the vessels of the heart. And it's a life-saving process. You know, when you see someone who has chest pain, has an acute event, and you find a closure in one of their vessels, you have the capability to open that vessel back up and reinstate the circulation of blood to the heart and prevent cardiac damage.
So it's a precautionary measure that can prevent, obviously, severe cardiac arrest or anything like that.
Yes.
That is fantastic. And is this one of the only facilities? It's definitely the newest facility in this county, probably in all of the states. Is there any other facility that can match what you have here at Hudson Regional Hospital?
I mean, yes, there are hospitals that have cardiac cath labs, and of course there are excellent cardiologists, interventional cardiologists that exist in other facilities. It's just that has not existed here in over 20 years since the prior hospital. We do have cutting edge technology here and our machinery and the capabilities that I think is really second to none in the state of New Jersey. And again, we're very proud to bring back here to Secaucus for our residents of Secaucus and Hudson County.
Well, Dr. Kifaieh, congratulations. This is an unbelievable endeavor.
Thank you.
So good to see you again.
Thank you.
We hope to be back for a new opening, another ribbon cutting, hopefully.
Thanks, and I'm sure we will, because we have a lot of plans for this hospital and for the residents of the county.
That's fantastic. Dr. Kifaieh, the president and CEO here at Hudson Regional Hospital. We will be back with more. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Still here at the beautiful new Cath Lab at Hudson Regional Hospital, located at 55 Meadowlands Parkway in the beautiful city of Secaucus, New Jersey. And we are here with the director of this Cath Lab, and of course that is Dr. Vladimir. and I'm going to butcher your name, even though we did this beforehand, Znamensky. Did I get that correct?
Close enough.
All right, we were going to say close enough. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Doctor, this is your first time on the Pulse here, and we've been here plenty of times. So this is your Pulse premiere, as we like to call it.
Okay.
How long have you been with Hudson Regional Hospital, and when did you take over the directorship here?
About 9 years since I joined my group. We are the largest cardiology group in Hudson County. I joined about 9 years ago as an interventional cardiologist. I trained previously in Brooklyn, Maimonides Medical Center. Hudson Regional Hospital has been one of our hospitals that we've been coming for about 30 years collectively as a group. So we are not new here. There used to be a Cath Lab sometime in the former Meadowlands Hospital, but that was probably about 20 years ago. And recently there's been discussion about opening up a Cath Lab in Hudson Regional, and they approached us regarding leadership, and directorship came about at that time.
That's unbelievable. So we had Dr. Kifaieh on a little earlier in the show, and he mentioned that a lot of the things that are done in here is almost a precaution before there's, cardiac arrest or anything like that for a patient. I mean, that's just going to show you where science has come. Where, if a person's not feeling a little well, maybe having a little bit of chest pain, you would bring them into this state-of-the-art facility here.
Absolutely.
And check if there's any blockages or anything like that,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
So having cardiac catheterization lab on site, or Cath Lab on site here, really provides patients with elevated level of care that we didn't have before at Hudson Regional. For patients who are inpatient, we'll be able to really provide early diagnosis in detecting whether symptoms like chest pain or shortness of breath that they were admitted with is really related to cardiac condition, underlying cardiac condition. And we'll be able to see whether there are blockages that really in arteries around the heart that really brought them into the hospital, and we can provide them with much faster diagnosis, expedite their care, and really provide with the level of care that we should have in this facility. For outpatient patients that we can bring here, it's patients that require sort of that next step of diagnostic procedures like cardiac catheterization, and we'll be able to really determine whether their symptoms are due to underlying heart problems.
Very, very interesting. Now, another thing that Dr. Kifaieh mentioned in the first part of the segment, I should say, was how there are a lot of different hospitals in the Hudson County, North Jersey area that do have Cath Labs, obviously. Yes. But what makes Hudson Regional Hospital stand out besides this brand new, gorgeous facility compared to other hospitals in the area?
So I think it's the key location of Hudson Regional Hospital. It's really located in right between all the highways. We have a patient population in Secaucus that we were unable to provide this level of care that now we can. So you're absolutely right. There are other cardiac catheterization labs in this area, but if we ever had a patient here before that needed this kind of procedure, we'd have to transfer to another hospital. It would delay care. Also we'll be able to not delaying care and possibly clinical deterioration of those patients.
Oh, very, very cool. So, and I have to ask you because I'm just a television host, and I'm not even that good at that, doctor. But anyway, if a patient comes in here, how does this machinery work?
Okay, so can I turn around?
You can have to explain. Yeah.
So this is the Cath Lab table, we call it, right? So the patient lies down on the table. The source of radiation comes from here, and this is really the image detector. We usually use contrast media that we inject into arteries, and having radiation going through contrast media, and it's radio opaque, meaning that it's going to be visible on the X-ray. We'll be able to project that image onto this, and then eventually on that beautiful screen that you have behind us.
And it's all very, very quick, correct?
It's very quick, yes.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Vladimir Znamensky, that was much better, correct?
Perfect.
Who is the director here at the new catheterization lab over at Hudson Regional Hospital. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And congratulations on this new endeavor.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, folks, join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.